Okay, and we're back. So, a lot of video game news going on lately. I mean, it's summer. E3's coming up, but E3's kind of dying. But we have some very important information coming out of Microsoft. You know, they did their big showcase for 2023. We also have news for for the Ubisoft Forward, which happened today. I haven't gone through all of it, but I got most of the highlights. And there's a controversy brewing surrounding Call of Duty and Activision Blizzard, which we can get into a little bit. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
So, like I mentioned, a lot of video game talk. Hopefully the audio's okay. I'm a little bit worried because sometimes when I switch things around, things get messed up. But I think it looks fine. If anybody there in the chat notices anything, let me know, and I'll try to fix it on my end. Well, I guess my end's the only one that can fix it, right? But whatever. It's another Monday, so thanks for joining me. Again, we're gonna keep these chill, chill Monday night shows. It's gonna, sit back, relax, enjoy a beer. If you want to join me doing that, if not, whatever, doesn't matter. But it's been an interesting weekend. I did an obstacle course race, which was fun. I'd never done that before. My entire body hurts, particularly my legs, because you have to run a few miles and stuff. But mainly because I got a bunch of rope burn. I did not expect that I needed pants to do this thing. I was misinformed, but whatever. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Let's start off with the controversy because Bob Nasty, thank you for joining me. Let's start with the controversy because I think that's a good setup for everything that comes moving forward. So the big controversy is surrounding Activision Blizzard, right? For those of you who don't know what Activision or who Activision Blizzard is, they're a video game developer, a video game company. They made a bunch of really large franchises. Blizzard right now is probably in the news because they just released the newest Diablo. They also made Warcraft. They made StarCraft. They made a bunch of games. Activision is known for Call of Duty, I guess, would be their biggest franchise. And right now, there's a controversy surrounding specifically Call of Duty because there are calls to boycott the game. Gus Becerra, thank you for joining me. Now, the exact details of the controversy are pretty simple. Basically, a big-time streamer he had a skin in the game. Basically, there was a patch that you could add to the game that would make your character look like him, and that got removed from the store because of a tweet he made, basically saying to leave the kids alone and stuff, and that got the how did Dave Chappelle call it? The letters people really mad at him. And so, big controversy there. And so, since they kicked him out, then another big streamer was like, hey, well, I'll get my stuff out of there. Another one deleted the game. So it's like a whole thing. The big thing here is that this is a terrible time for boycotts because boycotts appear to be working, and it's hysterical. You guys probably have heard of the Bud Light boycott. There's a Target boycott, and there's been a massive hit in their stocks, in their market value. So I think Bud Light dropped by like 30%. Now, the reason why I mean that this is the worst time for a boycott for Activision Blizzard is because they're in the middle of being purchased by Microsoft. I mean, this was the story of a while back. You can probably listen to my podcast. I commented about it. It was the biggest purchase in the video game industry, I believe, to that point. I believe still to this day. And today, the FTC announced that they're filing a lawsuit to prevent that merger, to prevent Microsoft from purchasing Activision Blizzard. So if the FTC manages to stop them in some way, or maybe Microsoft wants the deal to get stopped because if the stock drops for Activision and Blizzard in a similar way that it dropped for like Bud Light and Target, I guess that could, maybe stop that acquisition there. I don't know what's going to happen. But like I said, terrible time for this to be happening. Also, not really helping for this particular time to be, calling for boycotts or getting your company have a boycott called against them. The economy's doing terrible. So people are very selective about their money and about their time. Now, about time, that's always kind of happened, I guess, with age. You get more responsibilities, more things to do. And so you really need to prioritize how you're going to spend your time. But I just kind of need to do this. Sorry, I had to turn on a fan because it's really hot in here. Anyway, so you need to prioritize your time. In fact, I was talking with a friend this weekend, and we were talking about the Total War series. I love the Total War series. It's phenomenal. I really enjoy playing it, and I was trying to sell him on trying the Warhammer version, and he said he tried it, but the issue is that he didn't have enough time to get into the lore of it. And I'm like, you don't really need to get into the lore. He's like, no, you don't understand. Because when I'm playing medieval Total War, I know history already. So I already know what's the best tech path to take. Already know who has like the best cavalry. I know who has the best archers. I know everything. So I know which tech path to take. If I go into Warhammer, I have no idea what the freaking dinosaurs do. I don't know how they compare to the dwarves, and so it makes things difficult. And so again, it's a time thing. I don't have time to get into all of that. So the issue here, not for Call of Duty, the people who are going to buy the game already bought the game, probably, right? That's probably how it is. Like, if you play the game, you play the game. I honestly do not play the game. I haven't played it in a really long time. Like, I think I tried Modern Warfare and then I just stopped. It was never really my thing. I've always been more of a story game. I prefer playing a story. I don't like playing online and stuff like that. It's never really been my jam or whatever. But they again, we're going to, again, I didn't have the time for it, and I didn't really want to. I didn't really care for it. So we're at a point where people are being very selective about their time and very selective about their money. Now, the time thing already happened. Now the money thing comes into play. Video games are a little bit different, I believe, the way that the market works for them, because again, people are probably already own the game in one form or another, right? The issue is going to probably be time here for them. That's why it's the big concern. So money, people already spent their money buying that video game, and it sucks that you really can't return video games. I hate it. It's one of the things that I hate most about that industry. You just can't return a game that you didn't like, because otherwise I would have returned The Last of Us. The Last of Us Part 2. Let's be specific. But you're not allowed to do it. Why? I don't know. It's stupid, but you can't do it. And so you're not going to get your money back. Maybe you can resell or whatever, but it doesn't matter. So it's not really an issue of time. So it's going to be an issue of time here. How many people are playing online your game? How many people are... Will they lose people? Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how this boycott's going to work. The gaming community is a little weird sometimes. I believe the culture war stuff actually started with the gaming community with Gamergate. So I don't know. It's confusing stuff, but it's interesting. And in case you want to know which are the franchises that are being boycotted here, I think Activision actually is in a worse spot here, but whatever. If you guys want to check it out, these are the biggest franchises here from Blizzard. So Blizzard's got Diablo, Overwatch, World of Warcraft. Now, World of Warcraft is doing terrible. Now, if we want to get specific... Oh, and StarCraft. So if we want to get specific about Blizzard's in a terrible spot with its customers because the gaming community does not like what they've been doing. They do not like the product that they've been releasing. I know a bunch of people just abandoned World of Warcraft and they went to the Final Fantasy version of it. Well, the Final Fantasy open world RPG. But the issue with Blizzard is that they let go some of their lead creators, some of the people who created StarCraft and stuff. They just let them go. And so they're about to release their newest game. If you want to check that out, I believe it's Stormfront, if I'm not mistaken. It might be. Maybe that's the company. The point is, I know somebody who is a ranked player in StarCraft, and he hates every single thing that Blizzard's doing, and so he's really excited to move on to Stormfront. Again, I might be wrong about the name, but whatever. And so Blizzard was already not doing great. Again, they don't have the best people, and it's a problem that comes sometimes with success. Companies cheap out. It's like, oh, well, we got this guy who made this really great game. Well, now we got the game and we don't need the guy. So this guy who should be paid millions and millions, we don't want to pay him that. So we're going to get rid of him and we're going to get somebody cheaper. And it turns out that what you made isn't really that great anymore. So that's already an issue for Blizzard, quality-wise. If we go for Activision, they got some interesting games. They got Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 or 2, which I remember a listener was mentioning that the remake was actually pretty good. Call of Duties, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I've heard that's a great game. That's from Software. So they have a massive library of games. But if you check out here, most of them are Call of Duty. So this is their biggest title by far. So we'll see how it goes. Gus Becerra, I want Activision to bring back Guitar Hero. I just played the Wii version with my kids yesterday. Guitar Hero was fun. I enjoyed that. Did I enjoy it more than Rock Band? Probably. I'm gonna have to think about it because I really Rock Band is just, it's a bit more versatile, but yeah, definitely, or at least some kind of version of it. Sure, that'd be fun. I'd enjoy that. For sure. But anyway, the point is, Boycott's happening for Activision Blizzard. Quality of product from Activision, from Blizzard has dropped. Quality from most video game developers has dropped a lot. They keep releasing these unfinished games, which are super annoying. There's obviously there's a few developers that don't do this, like From Software hasn't done it, at least as far as I know. The Legend of Zelda, which I talked about recently, did not do that. I don't think they've ever done that. So there's been a drop in quality here. And I think that's the biggest problem for the industry. So putting yourself in a position where the fans are like, you know what? F you. I don't need you. Why? Because I don't have any money. And if I do have money, I don't have time to waste on this. So you know what? Screw you. I'll just leave. I'll go somewhere else. I don't need you. I don't need this. I don't need to be involved in all this drama. It just, F you. Also, let's see. There's such a huge video game library from the late 90s, early 2000s. Why not just re-release on current system with current graphics? Final Fantasy VII was pretty successful. The boycott for Call of Duty is long overdue. Lol. Can't release a $70 game that barely has any content. That might be actually a bigger issue. The game is ridiculously expensive. And again, sometimes it comes out not finished. And there's just too much competition out there, I guess. First-person shooters aren't particularly that special, I guess. It's got its niche. No, it's a big market. I'm not gonna say it's niche, but I don't know. It's just never been for me. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't play the mobile game. I don't play mobile games in general unless, they're talking for the Switch. I mean, from the phone. I know there's people who play Call of Duty on their phone. I don't know how. It doesn't drive them crazy, but they do it. But I agree. I played when it was I think Modern Warfare was the last one I actually bought, maybe. Unless I got them for as a gift or something, or to review them. I don't remember. I don't know. But we'll see. And I do like that idea of re-releasing old games from the 90s. Not always. But again, we talked about this, I believe, in the last podcast. There's a issue with how your remaster works. Like, if you're going to do what they did with GoldenEye 007, then just don't do that. You made the game stupid. You took away everything that made it special. I don't like it. You even took away... you added Daniel Craig instead of Pierce Brosnan. Come on, what the fuck are you doing? I don't see the point. Just get out of here. Daniel Craig doesn't have the charisma of Pierce Brosnan. It's a completely different James Bond, but whatever. So if you're going to do that, don't do it. If you're going to do something else to just, as I said last time, update the graphics, make it run smoother. That's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. Maybe get rid of a few annoying things, upgrades, but whatever. Re-release GoldenEye. That would be fun. That'd be fun, but whatever. Point is, that's the controversy. The big controversy in the gaming world is that right now. So, they're being bought out by Microsoft. And at the same time, they're being sued by the FTC to stop this because it looks like it's going to form a monopoly or whatever, which I get because, as you guys know, Microsoft has the Game Pass. And so, if they put all of the Activision and Blizzard games in the Game Pass, and they have exclusivity with those games, meaning that they can't be played on the PlayStation, or even if they don't have exclusivity. So let's say Microsoft puts Call of Duty on the Game Pass, and they also allow PlayStation to buy the rights to the game, but it's on the Game Pass. So you could buy an Xbox Series X and play, or an Xbox One and play Call of Duty for free on, well, quote unquote free. All you have to do is pay for the Game Pass. Well, if you pay for the Game Pass, you can play Call of Duty for free on the Game Pass, quote unquote free. Why would you buy it on the for the PlayStation? Why would you pay $70 to play that game on the PlayStation? It really doesn't make much sense. So you kind of be screwing the competition in several different ways. So I don't know how this is going to work exactly. I don't see if the government's stopping it. Maybe. I don't know. But the point is, bad times. Bad times. Particularly problematic situation. at a really terrible time, and a really terrible time to be doing it. Also, let's add to the fact that you kind of do not want to mess with your fan base. You don't want to mess with your customers. You don't want to insult them. You don't want to do anything. That's just a terrible idea in general. Like, I remember the quote that's attributed to Michael Jordan, that they asked him, like, why doesn't he talk politics or any of that? Why doesn't he get involved? And his answer was, because conservatives buy shoes too. Which is, honestly, if you sell shoes, sell shoes. If you sell video games, sell video games. If you're going to punish somebody who doesn't work for you, somebody that makes your brand more popular. So, as far as I understand, it's a Twitch streamer, well, YouTube Twitch streamer, who's very popular, and they made a skin for him because he's so popular, because he has millions of followers. If you're gonna punish him for putting out a tweet, so it's not even on your platform. He didn't even say it live on his show that while he's playing your game. He just put out a tweet. That is terrible, disgusting stuff, and that's reason enough just to get into the boycott. Just because of that. It's like, you're policing me. You are policing me for things that I say that's not even in your platform. So you want to police me outside of your platform. Imagine, I don't know, let's say the government of California trying to give you a ticket for speeding in Mexico. Like, seriously? The fuck do you think you are? Get the fuck out of here. Seriously? You are so out of your role, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Are you insane? And also, I give you money. I'm good for you. You need me more than I need you. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? You think there's no other military first-person shooter games that I could do? I could play? No, I like yours, but now, F you. What the fuck do you think this is? Who the fuck do you think you're messing with? I got millions of subscribers, and now everybody is pissed off at you, which again is a terrible idea. I mean, maybe these people follow this guy specifically. I believe Nick Merckx was his name. Maybe they follow him because they really like Call of Duty, but I'm guessing that they follow him because they like Nick Merckx playing X, which X in this situation was Call of Duty. So, terrible situation to put yourself in. Again, influencers work both ways. They work to your benefit and they work to your detriment, which means that if an influencer hates you, it's to your detriment. If they love you, it's for your benefit. Don't fucking get in the middle of it. Stick your nose out of it. I remember back in my radio days, a radio personality said something. I'm not going to get too specific here, but one personality said, if you do X if you do X, then I'll give you an example that's ridiculous. But for example, I don't know, if you eat chocolate ice cream, then you're a racist. Like, that person said that live on the radio, and I'm like, dude, I eat chocolate ice cream. Like, you just called me a racist. Like, what the hell? I was like, what is this? And so again, there was conflict, and you're just alienating again. What is it that, what was it, the Obi-Wan quote? Only a Sith deals in absolutes, which is an absolute statement, which is phenomenal. Like, I know, I'm 100% sure that they wrote that on purpose. Like, I choose to believe that. I could be wrong, but I choose to believe that. Because it's just hysterical. It's like, hey, when they wrote it, were they like, hey, man, you see the irony here? And it's like, yes, I see the irony, and I love it. I chose to write it that way on purpose, because it's funny. And it shows just how flawed the Jedi mentality is, I guess. But it's oh, whoa, there's a bunch of comments here. I wish Gears of War was available on PS5. How dare you speak common sense, Dario? Dario is low-key a Don Imus fan. Who? Low-key a Don Imus. Who the hell is a Don Imus? I don't know. Listen, I'm terrible with names. I don't know. And I don't live in the internet world. It's a problem. I know. I don't have enough time. I'm doing other stuff. I'm sorry. I need to learn to say no and just get involved in things, but I don't, because it's way more fun this way. But yeah, again, stupid. Like, if I worked at Activision, that's the last thing I would do. And at least doing it publicly. You can do stuff, you can do shady shit under the water. You can reach out to that guy and be like, hey, dude, listen. We're not going to punish you for that tweet because, you did it on another platform. It's your free speech, whatever. But we just don't like it. We don't like that over here. So just keep that over there, maybe, or whatever. But this is the dumbest way to deal with it. This is the dumbest way, especially, again, they just need to add things up here. You're doing it in the middle of a period where boycotts are actually a thing. People are looking for stuff to boycott. Why? Because it's, first off, it's funny. Second, because they're pissed off. And you're just, what? You're just like, you know what? I feel like I want to get in the middle of this. I just want to jump into the fray. And there's a bunch of companies with all the Pride stuff that decided to take down their Pride logos because they were like, hey, you know what? We don't want to get into this because, you know, it's smart. That's just good business. But I don't know what they're doing. But the people working there are clearly idiots. Or they just can't read the room. Or maybe both. They're idiots who can't read the room. I don't know. But I don't see this going well so far. I checked. The stock is down. Not even 1%. But again, it's only been a few days. People just started hearing about it. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. It's the perfect storm again. If the game gets boycotted, if there's calls for the boycott for the company, the FTC suing to stop this merger, so the stock could plummet. We'll see how it goes. But again, people don't have money to buy your $70 games. All right? The economy sucks. We're all losing money. People don't have the time because they have lives, and they're trying to work double, triples in order to, you know, just pay rent. So they don't have the time to do it. They don't have the money to do it. And they're pissed off because, again, they don't have time or money to do things that they like. And you just spit in their faces? Seriously? This is beyond stupid. This is arrogant and stupid on a different level. I do not understand this. I do not understand why a company would just walk in and be like, hey, I want to throw gasoline at this fire. Because it just, you know, seems fun. I really want to be a part of this bonfire. I don't know. It's just stupid. It's stupid, but whatever. He was the first radio guy to get canceled back in like 06. Really? I didn't know that. Again, I don't know people's names, but all right. If he got canceled, I'll have to look into it. You know, maybe it was wrong. I've always been against all this canceling stuff. I'm not a big fan of it. And that's why I think, like, if I ever sign a contract for something or whatever, I have like a specific clause saying that anything I say on social media is mine. Like, you can't fire me for stuff that I say on social media or whatever. Like, and if I ever hire somebody, I'd put that clause in there, because honestly, if I'm a company, it's kind of protecting yourself. Because if let's say I'm Activision, right? And I have Call of Duty, and this famous Call of Duty streamer says something I don't like. Whatever. They say, leave the children alone, which I don't understand why you don't like that, because it seems like a pretty, like a really not controversial statement, but whatever. You don't like it. So you don't like it, and you're like, hey, you know what? And you have pressure from, again, the letter people telling you, how could you allow this to happen? You can't have them on your platform. You can't give them money, blah, 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 blah. And it's stupid, and we hate you, and we'll boycott you. I can almost guarantee you that they don't play your game, but whatever. The people who call and demanding boycotts or demanding that you cancel somebody are generally not your customers. Generally not. It just, you know, call that a hunch. I'd say they're activists, you know? It's just, let's just say, more than once, that's been proven to be the case, but whatever. So you got people calling, and, you know, they're ringing you day and night. They're sending you emails that, like, this guy said this. You need to get him off your platform, blah, blah, blah. And so you're Activision. You're like, all right, well, I got to cancel this guy, right? I got to cancel or deal with him, and it makes us look bad, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. If you had a contract signed with that particular person, and the contract says that you can't cancel them, you can't fire them, you can't cancel a bundle or whatever because of something that he says on another platform, then all you have to do is, if you're Activision, say, hey, we do not control what this person says on another platform, and that's it. I mean, you could, if you want to, you know, like, let's say, appease the complaining people and be like, we may not agree with this, blah, blah. In fact, you know, you do it more generally. We do not agree with a lot of things that a lot of our talent says on social media. However, due to contractual obligations, we cannot we cannot affect or we cannot take actions based on something that they said on another platform. That's it. Save yourself a whole lot of money, a whole lot of controversy, a whole lot of issues. It'd be super easy, but they don't do it. Why? I don't know, because they're stupid. But Dario, the next Tucker Carlson, dude, I are you kidding me? I wish I could get millions of listeners a night. That'd be phenomenal. That'd be great. I don't know what I would talk about, to be honest. And but I do like his style. It's really funny. Let's see. Let me see if I can replicate it there a bit. No, I don't think I can. I don't have it. I'm too silly. Welcome to Dario Gonzalez tonight. I say, well, welcome to Super Dario World. Today we will be discussing video games, Activision, the controversy surrounding their boycott, and the highlights from the Microsoft showcase, and also a little bit of Ubisoft from there. A little bit. No, I can't do it. I don't. To me, this is more therapy than anything. It's just sit back, relax, chat a little bit. I don't like the whole structure thing. It's too much. I've tried it. I've done the podcast where I have, like the thing that I already, mapped out what I'm going to say and everything. I just don't like it. It feels too stiff. It doesn't feel natural. Sometimes it might be better, but I don't like how it feels at the end of it. I'm like, that felt fake. But anyway, let's get into the Microsoft showcase, where they announced some interesting things. Some things that I actually cared about. Some things that I didn't, but whatever. We'll go through these relatively quickly. So the first and the biggest announcement was probably Starfield. So Starfield is a game developed by Bethesda Game Studios. For those who don't know who Bethesda Game Studios are, they created Fallout and the Elder Scrolls series, which would be Skyrim. Basically, that's probably the biggest one that they have. And so, which one's bigger, Fallout or Elder Scrolls? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Point is, they announced the game. This game has been in development hell for a really long time. I mean, like 25 years. They released a trailer for it. They announced a release date, kind of, and they showed a whole bunch of stuff. Supposedly, it's going to come out later this year. Supposedly. But again, it's been in development hell for a really long time. It's going to be a sci-fi RPG. I'm not crazy about how big it is. Again, supposedly it's going to be ginormous. You're going to be exploring the stars. You're going to be doing all these things. And the gameplay looked fun. First-person shooting, all that stuff. Sci-fi. It just looks too big. It's one of those things like, do I really have time to get into another game this massive? I think that's an issue. That's a problem. Games are getting too big. It's too much of an investment. Again, we don't have time. We don't have time. Like, I can't tell you how many hours I have in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I've loved it. It's great. It's phenomenal. I've really enjoyed it. And once I'm done putting in my 100 hours for that, I don't think I'm going to have the desire or the energy to put 100 hours into Starfield. Maybe 200. I don't know, depending on how big it is. It's just too much. It might be great. When it comes out, sure. By the way, none of these games I'm going to pre-order. None of them. Not a single one, because so far I've been really disappointed with video games lately. So I just don't, unless again it's a franchise that I'm so sure of the developer. Like I'm super sure about The Legend of Zelda because that's Nintendo's crown jewel. Fine. I'm super sure about the games from Software because they have their they're Japanese. All right, they don't fuck around. So all right, I got that one, and the latest one that I have, because I did it a while ago, was Final Fantasy. The latest one, 16, I believe, is the one that's coming out. I did that a really long time ago. I was like, well, whatever. I'll get it already. I think that came out before the Pokemon one. And the Pokemon is the one that broke the camel's back. I was like, well, fuck you. Seriously? Damn, I'm not doing pre-orders anymore. None of them. This one, I could wait. And I'll probably wait a month because when it comes out, it's probably going to be, it's going to have like a bunch of issues. And we'll see how it goes. But whatever. Let me see. Gus Becerra. When has a girl ever said that? Meh. Too big. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I have heard that's a thing. Like I have heard that's a problem. It's a meme. If I remember it, I'll let you know. But that is a meme. Anyway, so Starfield, big deal. It's a 45-minute trailer. You can check out the trailer for the game. But this is a 45-minute thing, so it requires some time. Now, if you want to see the whole thing, which I didn't because again, I don't have the time for it. Next, we have Fable. Now, they showed a trailer announcement for the next Fable. It's not going to be part of the numbered series, I guess, for some reason. So I'm guessing it's going to be a reboot for the franchise. For those of you who don't know, Fable was a video game that came out, I believe, it was the original Xbox. And basically, you create your own story. You can, very similar to Mass Effect, you make decisions that make you either good or bad, and you create your own story that way. It was a lot of fun. I haven't played the latest one, but if this is going to be a reboot of the whole thing, it looks interesting, it looks fun, the game still looks quirky and silly, so I'll probably give it a shot. But again, not pre-ordering it, and again, we're not exactly sure when the release window is going to be, so this could take a while. Next, we have Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Now, Cyberpunk 2077, as I said, is a tragedy. Because I started playing this game like a year, maybe 2 years after the game was released. And the game is phenomenal. It's phenomenal in its level of ambition. The problem is, you could see what they wanted to do. And it was so ambitious. If they would have made that successful, if they actually would have successfully reached the point that they wanted to reach, in their ambition, the game would have been phenomenal. It probably would have been the game of the year. I loved it. I loved every second of playing Cyberpunk. However, it is very clearly an unfinished game. I think they released it way too soon, which is really weird for CD Projekt Red, because CD Projekt Red is known, at least was known for having a high standard of quality at that time. It was also, they had this thing. I remember when you bought the game, they had this thing that said that, oh, we're not going to charge you for any DLCs and stuff. And then they changed that with The Witcher 3. But I can forgive that. If your base game is finished, I can forgive an extra DLC. But whatever. Point is, the the expansion supposedly promises that it's going to, quote, rewrite the DNA of the game. So I'll just read you this thing real quick from a person who actually played the game. So, before our hands-on demo, quest director Paweł Sesko and quest designer Despoina Anetaki told us that nearly every system had been changed, tweaked, or redone entirely. Unlockable abilities in the skill tree feel more like perks rather than passive stat bonuses. The cybernetics are a lot more robust, offering more gameplay options, and the infamous police response system has been rebuilt from the ground up. This isn't the first time the developer CD Projekt Red has done something like this. The Witcher 3's final expansion brought with it a number of changes to the UI and combat, but Phantom Liberty is attempting to comprehensively rewrite Cyberpunk's DNA. So again, they want to completely fix the game. Could this finally be the moment that Cyberpunk actually lives up to the promise it originally set out to be? Who knows? It's possible. Anything's really possible. But like I said, I liked it a year after its release. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. This thing's $30 though. So it's $30 to fix your own game. I'm not. That would put the price tag for this game, the total price tag for this game up to what, $100? See, I'm not too happy about that. Again, not enough time, not enough money. But maybe if they release a patch at the same time that fixes the game, or fixes a lot of the issues with the game, I might be like, you know what, this could be worth it. Maybe. Again, we'll see. Supposedly, this thing stars Idris Elba. You got Keanu Reeves back. The story seems generic but interesting. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I'm just waiting and seeing. Not jumping into the fray day one. I'm just gonna wait and see. Especially if it's a downloadable thing. It's like, I'm no rush. I'm not gonna run out of copies. Are you kidding me? Like, I understand if you want to pre-order a physical copy. I get that. I understand that. Actually, I do that. I prefer having physical copies over digital copies, because if they ever decide to cancel that game, well, you still own it. You still have the physical copy, so they can't really stop you from playing it. Perfect example of this would be, how they got rid of, let's say they wanted to cancel Dr. Seuss there for a minute. They canceled one of his books. And if you had the digital copy, you could no longer access it. However, if you had the physical copy, well, what the fuck are you going to do? I have the physical copy. So it went up in value. So again, I prefer physical stuff. It's less convenient, for sure, but I like it. I like it better. Anyway. Next thing they announced was Hellblade 2. Senua's Sacrifice Hellblade 2. They showed more of the trailer. The game looks pretty interesting. The sound is really phenomenal. The trailer looks pretty beautiful. Basically, it's a crazy Viking chick. It's a creepy game. It's a dark game. And again, it's mainly like a... How was it described? Delving into insanity. So, it's fun. Chuck Dominguez, thank you for joining me. Heading home from work. Well, hopefully we entertained you we're gonna entertain you for the ride. So, it looks good. It's supposedly gonna come out in one point in 2024. By the way, I didn't say this, but Cyberpunk is gonna come out September 26th. The expansion. Next, we got Avowed. Now, Avowed looks a lot, and I mean a lot, like Skyrim. First-person medieval fantasy. Okay, I guess it could be fun, but it's gonna come out in 2024. It's a gameplay reveal. It looks like a cartoony Skyrim. I think that's the best way to describe it. But all right, well, we can wait and see. Let's see what they got. Forza Motorsport, they have a release trailer. Well, they showed a trailer for a game they're releasing this fall. I've never really cared about racing games other than Diddy Kong Racing and Mario Kart because they're not meant to be taken seriously. Well, I guess I also like the Captain Falcon one. What's the F1? No, that's not it. What's the name? Anyway, I like that one. I just fixed my dishwasher while listening and live chatting. See, Gus Becerra gets a lot done. Chuck, you need to start fixing, I don't know, your radiator while you drive. Just, actually don't try that. I don't want to get sued. Stop. That was a joke. I was kidding. Don't do that. Next, we got first look at Clockwork Revolution. Now, this is a weird one. Imagine a steampunk world where you can time travel. Honestly, the game looked interesting enough. It reminded me a lot of BioShock in the way it looked, but you can time travel. So I guess you can go back to the past and it's Back to the Future type of time travel because the things you do in the past affect the future. Again, there's no release date, so it's still gonna be a minute to see more about this game, but we'll see how it goes. I'll keep an eye out for it. Next, they announced two things for the Persona franchise. First off, Persona 3 Reload, which is a remake of Persona 3. It's an RPG game. However, the issue is that they're not going to add all the stuff that they... So this is the second remake of Persona 3. So they made Persona 3, then they made a remake for it. It's Persona 3 Mobile or whatever. And now this is Persona 3 Reload. And they're not going to add all the stuff that they added for the Persona portable one. The Persona 3 whatever. The remake that they made a portable version for it. Including getting to choose a female protagonist. Why? I don't know. Because apparently it's a thing that everybody liked. I haven't played the game, but it seemed like an odd decision. They also showed Persona 5 Tactica, which is going to be a spin-off of Persona 5. Apparently, it's going to be very similar to the gameplay of, well, at least the tactical gameplay of Persona 5. So we'll see. Supposedly, it's being released November 17th. Next, we got the first trailer for Infinite Wealth. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which is sequel to the Yakuza Like a Dragon video game. It's supposedly going to be pretty outrageous, and the trailer is pretty outrageous. It's basically like a dude wakes up naked on a beach. How he gets there or why, I don't know. But we'll see I didn't play the last one, so I'm not really sure what the franchise is even about, but I'm assuming it's a Japanese dude who kicks ass. That's my best guess. Company's truck. Oh, wait. Gran Turismo movie. What is even a Gran Turismo movie gonna be about? Get out of here. Company's truck. Oh, okay. So you're driving the company's truck. I get it. BioShock was the shit. Yes, the BioShock franchise is phenomenal. Story-wise, gameplay-wise. I even played the board game. It's a whole lot of fun. Like they should make a TV show about that. Like imagine a BioShock anime. That'd be phenomenal. I'm all in on that. Speaking Back to the Future, how sad will it be that Michael J. Fox will unfortunately die before Doc? Hashtag morbid but true. Gus Becerra, why would you try to bring us down like that, man? This is chill out Monday. We're just chilling. We're sitting back, relaxing, drinking beers, especially Chuck, who's apparently driving a truck or something. Are you kidding me? Why bring us down that way? Also, you never know. The doc might get hit by lightning tomorrow, so who knows? Who knows? Sounds like my 21st birthday. Okay. Next, we got Overwatch 2 Invasion. Now, this is really weird because they show this as a trailer. First off, I didn't know that Overwatch was still a thing. I'll be completely honest with you. I got this game for free because a friend of mine worked for well, actually, you might know him because he worked for the station too. Doesn't matter. He was an intern too, but he moved on. He started working for Blizzard. And actually, he's one of the people who've told me that things in Blizzard sucked, and that's why he left Blizzard. But anyway, he gave me the Overwatch game for free. And then Overwatch 2 came out, and basically they wanted to charge you for all the things that you got in Overwatch 1 for free. And now they're doing this, which the trailer feels kind of like a story trailer, but the game's not really going to be a story. I don't get it, but they're going to show new characters. Again, I didn't even know that Overwatch was a thing. I didn't know that anybody still played it. I played it like twice, and I was like, not for me. But whatever, everybody's got their own thing. Waking up naked on the beach. Gotcha. All right, so it sounds like your 21st birthday, waking up naked on the beach. That sounds like a hell of a birthday, man. Well, it depends on the beach. It all depends on the beach. But good for you. Glad you had fun. And finally, which kind of leads us to the next thing, we got Star Wars Outlaws. And this, I believe, it's a good time to move over to Activision, to Ubisoft Forward, because as I mentioned, Microsoft did this thing last week, PlayStation did it a couple weeks back, and now Ubisoft now did its own thing. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ubisoft is also a video game developer. As you can see from the image here, they're currently developing, you know what, Assassin's Creed is probably what you know them best by. Also For Honor. For Honor was great. Also known for releasing a lot of unfinished games, which is really annoying. So, moving on to, like I said, Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws looks interesting in many ways because, again, it's you're going back to exploring the universe of Star Wars, not as a Jedi character. So or as far as we know, at least what we saw from the trailer, not using any Force user. So you're going to be a random person. Particularly here, it looks like it's just like a random smuggler or a merc or whatever, a random woman and a random criminal, which looks fun. It looks enjoyable. I gotta say, I like it. It's been described as Grand Theft Auto Tatooine, but I don't think that's accurate. As I was watching it, I saw some mechanics like from Red Dead Redemption. The Deadeye that looked similar to that. So if they can make this feel like a sci-fi, if this game is a sci-fi western, that could be a lot of fun. Now, I've mentioned this 100 times before, and I'll say it again. The best parts about Star Wars are not in the movies. All right? The best parts about Star Wars are the expanded universe, the books, the movies. The books, the video games, the animated movies, the animated shorts. All the best things in the Star Wars franchise do not appear in the movies. That doesn't mean that the movies are bad. Some of them are. Some of them are disgustingly bad. What I'm saying is that everything else is phenomenal. Well, not everything else. Most of the things are phenomenal. Like, one of my favorite video games of all time is Republic Commandos. You don't use a Force user. You're a clone trooper, a Republic Commando. I really loved Battlefront, the original Battlefront. Loved it. Again, you play as a random trooper or a droid. Then you got what's the strategy one? Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Love that game. It's phenomenal. But you could play as any sect. And again, you're not playing as a Jedi. So we'll see how it could be fun. The only issue is, again, Ubisoft is infamous for releasing unfinished games, so no pre-orders. And supposedly it's going to come out in 2024. We'll see a little bit more as the game gets closer. We don't know if you have to play as this particular character, if you're going to be able to customize your own character. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. Gran Turismo is a movie. Comes out 8/11/2023. Really? Why? I guess I'll have to see the trailer for it. It just doesn't sound exciting. At least You know, my gut reaction is that, all right, movie about... It's really hard to make a good racing movie, okay? Really, really hard. Like, Ford versus Ferrari is phenomenal, and it's not about racing. Well, it is about racing, but it's not the core part of it. It's very difficult. Fast and the Furious, again, it's about street racing, kind of, but it's mostly, you know, Point Break. It's Point Break on cars, which is, again, you wouldn't call Point Break a surfer movie. It's a movie with, it's a, what do you call it, a crime movie with surfers in it, but I wouldn't say that it's a surfer movie, but whatever. Next, we got Avatar, let me see, I got this all here. I forget the name. Okay, why did they change this? This is stupid. I already had it here. Damn it. I changed the size of this thing and everything moved. Where is it? Is the Jungles of Pandora? I don't know. How could this thing change? This thing just completely moved. I don't know. It was one of the big things. Whatever. I forget. I'm sorry. I remembered. Frontiers of Pandora. See, sometimes it just takes me a minute. This actually looks like a lot of fun. Again, the only issue is that it's Ubisoft and releases unfinished games. But basically, it's an open world where you're exploring Pandora, you know, from the world of Avatar. And what we saw from the story trailer is the reason why you're going to be like a noob in this particular world is that you were a Navi that was raised by humans, you know, to study. And then when the humans left, they put you to sleep and you wake up, and so you're, as an adult, exploring the world of Pandora for the first time, and then the humans come back, and so you decide to be a part of that war. It looks like a lot of fun. I like the world of Pandora a lot. I like the way that they developed it. I like the style. I liked everything from it. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm guessing that James Cameron had a lot to say for this particular game. I'm guessing that he has a lot of control over some things, so hopefully it's pretty good. But I like the idea of, you know, flying around in a Banshee and exploring a whole new world. See, this one I don't really mind because it doesn't feel as big. Starfield, again, is going to be a ginormous planet to planet. Here's just one, and you're probably going to be stuck on one continent, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if they make it like the Need for Speed movie. It might be Goid. Dude, the Need for Speed movie was terrible. It really made no sense. If it's the one with the dude from Breaking Bad, right? I forget his name, but that movie was terrible. Next, we got. See, this is what happens when you move stuff around. I had everything in perfect order, just to, you know, show it and talk about it, but they moved everything on me, and I find that really annoying. Stupid technology. Actually, you know that I found out the issue here. All right, X-Defiant. So, here's what they have to say about X-Defiant. After testing its high-octane PvP shooter in a closed beta session, Ubisoft is planning to push the limits on the game with an open beta stress test from June 21st to the 23rd. The release date for the game is still planned for summer 2023, and Ubisoft already has a substantial roadmap for X-Defiant planned out. The game will ship with five factions, 5 modes, 14 maps, and 24 players. As for the first year of DLC, Ubisoft plans to add more factions, blah, blah, blah. So basically, it sounds like it's going to be another battle royale. This one by Ubisoft. Will it be good? Who knows? But whatever. Not my cup of tea. Next, Prince of Persia. So this one is really bizarre. So Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. They announced this one at the Summer Festival earlier this month, and it looks like they're going to be returning to the 2D roots of the original franchise. It's not clear, well, because this trailer didn't show any gameplay trailer. But let me see. They got a closer look at the return of time manipulating powers, which can once again be used across the game. The twist here, blah blah, is the Prince Sargon isn't the only person who can use these abilities, as other foes can wield these abilities against you. So again, more time stuff. I love the Prince of Persia franchise. The original games, like, what was it? Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and the Two Thrones. I love those 3 games. That's phenomenal. Why they decided to stop it, I don't know. I get it because the story was done and it was very neatly wrapped into a bow. I loved it. It was phenomenal. Great. It's one of the greatest video game experiences of my life. I enjoyed it. Since that point, not been too crazy about it. I didn't play the latest one, to be honest, but I wasn't crazy about how it looked, the style. This one looks really weird. There's a lot of, like, the style looks kind of like League of Legends Arceus, the show, which I guess if you're gonna make it an anime, that could be fun, but don't. I guess it feels like they're doing the same thing from other franchises, that you're wearing a beloved franchise as a skin suit, and that's the problem I have with this one. It doesn't really make sense. Like, the main character doesn't even look Persian, but again, I guess I don't know what Persians looked like back then, but I'm pretty sure they didn't look like that, or at least they didn't look like that in the other games. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not crazy about 2D games either, so I don't care about this one, but they announced it, so whatever. Next, we got Skull and Bones. Now, Skull and Bones is a game that I've been really excited about for a really long time, because it's about pirates. They announced it forever ago, and it's been delayed. Supposedly, the thing that they announced now is a closed beta, which will happen from August 25 to the 28th. We'll see what comes out of it. I'm hoping that this means that the game is closer to release, but the fact that they didn't announce a release date for it is concerning. I remember the original trailer. It looks phenomenal. Like, you could just be a pirate on a ship. That sounds super cool, and it's supposedly going to be really realistic. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me see. I don't know if okay, so neither is the movie, never in the movie, lol, with Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, that didn't make any sense either. I get why you cast Jake Gyllenhaal, and that's because, you know, he's is Jake Gyllenhaal an A-lister? I don't know. I guess maybe. I kind of get that point, but at the same time, I don't know why he got so freaking yoked for that particular movie, because the prince is kind of like scrawny muscular, like he's thin muscular, because the dude has to climb around and he's really fast and stuff. So I don't know what the fuck Jake Gyllenhaal was thinking. I don't know what they thought about casting him. Why did they cast him? Who would I have put in that role? I'd have to think about it. Probably shouldn't have asked that. But anyway, Skull and Bones looks interesting. Next, Assassin's Creed. I already mentioned this before. They announced 3 things for Assassin's Creed. First off, Assassin's Creed Nexus, which is going to be virtual reality Assassin's Creed game, so you're going to be a first-person assassin in a virtual game. Then Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I talked about, I believe, last week. And then Assassin's Creed Jade, which is going to be a mobile game. And this one's set in ancient China. So, there you go. Finally, they announced a anime show? I'm not sure if it's going to be a movie or not, but it's an anime spin-off. So, it's going to be... what's the name? Blood Dragon? Ah, god damn it, I had it here somewhere. Yes, it's Blood Dragon something, I don't know. But basically, it's going to be from the creators of Castlevania, the Netflix anime. They're going to release another animated show. It looks really good. It looks really, well, it looks funny, but I like that they're doing this video game anime adaptations, because again, adapting a video game to anime makes a lot more sense than adapting it into live person. And by the way, I found it. Finally, the name. Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix. So it's going to be an animated series, and it's going to look a lot like Far Cry Blood Dragon. And so, there you go. It's going to come out in 2020... No. They don't have a release date for it, now that I'm double checking this here. Because I thought it said that it did, but it didn't. And then that would have made me look like an idiot. Like, I don't need any help looking like an idiot. Not any more than I already have. So, there you go. It looks fun. It looks interesting, in the very least. Visually interesting. And again, video games make a lot more sense when they're adapted into anime, because they can match the level of ridiculousness. It's been very few and far between good video game adaptations into live action. I'd say the first season of The Witcher is a good example of it. I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Other than that, off the top of my head, well, the first Mortal Kombat movie was really good. Other than that, it doesn't really work out that well. It just doesn't feel right for many reasons. But anyway, I think that's a good place to stop. That's everything that announced that actually, matters, I guess. I wouldn't say matters. A lot of stuff matters, but those were the big announcements. Nothing ground shaking, nothing, earth shaking, nothing that left me feeling like, oh, I gotta have that. I don't know if it's because of me personally, how I am right now, but I didn't get any, I must have that. Like when I saw the Spider-Man trailer, I was like, I have to own that. I have to own that. Here it's like, meh, more of the same. Sure, upgrades here and there, but nothing particularly shattering, worth my time and money until they prove it. I don't know. Again, it could be just me. Maybe I'm a little bit more jaded. Who knows? Maybe I've learned. Who knows? But I feel that's a good place to stop. So, with that, as always, comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me. Oh, I forgot to do this actually earlier. Comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at SuperDarWorld and at DarioSDW. Like, share, subscribe to this video. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. And let me know in the comments, what do you feel like would be fun to talk about? Because I've been trying to figure out how my days are going to work. So I'm trying to do like this chill Monday live thing on Mondays. And I'll probably be talking football once the football season starts with my kid brother. Tuesdays, usually going to go something nerdy. So I'm going to do, well, not nerdy, something anime related. So something otaku. So I'm going to Otaku Tuesday. Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, I'm not sure. It's just, I don't really know yet. I'm not dead set on doing it. I'd just do other things. So, we'll see. Movie Club. Gus Becerra Movie Club. See, but again, that has to be live and it has to be at a certain time. I like the idea, because again, I like talking about movies. Let me see if I can think of hey, if anybody of you has any idea of how this could work out, leave it on the comment. I'll check it out. Because I do like the idea of just talking about movies for, I don't know, 30 minutes or a particular movie. But we'll see. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.